Audience which is comprising in large part of agri and spices and food processing community. But I'm sure people who are viewing this event would find this useful. While we get the presentation ready, I would just like to reiterate what the Principal Secretary mentioned yesterday in this event, that the three pillars of export competitiveness are superior product quality, export infrastructure, and government support by way of incentives, by way of facilitating policy. So while product quality is in large part the domain of the industry, and the government to whatever extent can help will try to help, but by and large I would like to address the other two pillars, which is the export infrastructure and the government policies, the state government's policy on textiles and apparel. Anyways, so to just kickstart things, if we look at the export business, the export industry in textiles from India, we are doing roughly about $38-39 billion. Pre-COVID, at least, we were doing $38-39 billion of exports, and so the country is the second largest manufacturer of textiles and the second largest exporter also of textiles. By and large, apparel, all types of apparel, yarn, and so on. And if you look at only textiles and apparel, we are the fifth largest exporter in the world after China, Bangladesh, Vietnam, and Germany. So while China is a larger country and we are allowed to lag them in exports, but Bangladesh and Vietnam have been countries which have come up very, very recently over the last 20 years or so and have surpassed India in apparel exports. So again, looking at the domestic trends specifically, India as a country used to consume cotton and natural fibers in a big way. Even in 2014, we see about 45% of fiber consumption is cotton and natural fibers, and is man-made and synthetic fibers. But going ahead, by 2030, we are going to converge towards the world trend of higher and higher consumption of man-made fibers, of polyester, and so on. So even the recently announced Government of India scheme, the production-linked incentive schemes, is more focused on man-made fibers, on technical textiles. Coming specifically to Telangana and the textiles and apparel sector in Telangana, this is a state which produces, which is the third largest producer of cotton in the country, and the long staple fiber cotton that is produced in the state is considered to be one of the finest quality that you can get in the country. And but if you look at the textile industry, and I'm sure Mr. Sancheti, Mr. R.K. Agarwal will speak more on this, we have a decent capacity of spinning in the country, but going further downstream into weaving, knitting, and garment manufacturing, that particular link of the value chain as of today is missing, or is, even if present, is present in a very, very minimal manner in the state compared to the kind of cotton that we produce and to the size of the spinning industry also. We need to really gear up to facilitate the downstream industry in the state. To the state policy, the state has a larger industrial policy, and the industrial policy has identified 14 thrust areas. These are areas where the government felt that we have some sort of a competitive advantage. When the state was formed in 2014, the government identified 14 thrust areas where it felt, which were considered to be low-hanging fruits, where we had some sort of an advantage, be it on the raw material side, be it on an existing ecosystem side, and so on. And textiles and apparel was considered to be important enough to be part of those 14 areas, and therefore to have a sector-specific policy on that and sector-specific initiatives at that. So these are the 8 pillars of the industrial policy, and these very 8 pillars also apply to the textile policy and to the government initiatives. So what really an industry needs is certain boxes to be ticked by the government and then to be left on to its own devices, so as to say. So in terms of infrastructure, be it land, power, water, and connectivity, and so on. In textile specifically, effluent treatment is a critical component of infrastructure. So this is something that the industry would expect from the government, and then very smooth approval mechanism process, some certain incentives for the industry, and so on. So these were the boxes that the textile policy of the state, when it was launched in 2017, tried to tick. Coming specifically to the infrastructure and the flagship initiative of the government of Telangana, the Kakatiya Mega Textile Park in Warangal. This is the country's largest integrated textile park, spread over 1200 acres, and eventually will go to about 2000 acres. And this park, the whole idea of this park is one, Warangal and across Telangana, a lot of cotton is grown. Warangal, there is a tradition of textiles from very early times, and a lot of people of Warangal origin today work in Bhiwandi, in Solapur, and other, even in Surat for that matter. In Surat, if you go, there would be lines and lines of houses where you will find only Telugu speaking people hailing from Warangal origin. So these are the people who, because of lack of opportunities, had migrated to other states and in search of opportunities, specifically in textiles, in weaving, and so on. And with these low-hanging fruits, with these availability of key factor components of labor, of raw material, it was identified that this is a place where a large textile park should be set up. And so foresighted was this vision that today government of India is also recognizing that we need to compete on scale. If we are to compete with Bangladesh and Vietnam, we need to have garment manufacturing units which can at one go employ 1000 people, 2000 people. And those kind of units will not come up in textile parks which are the size of 50 acres or 30 acres. So we need to have mega textile parks, and the government is coming up with, government of India for that matter, is coming up with a scheme called Mitra, Mega Integrated Textile Regions, which is about to be launched, and which intends to set up 6 to 7 such mega textile parks of at least 1000-acre spread. So this park, once the scheme comes up, will be the very first beneficiary under that scheme. And much before the government of India took steps, Telangana government had set up the mega textile park. And I am very happy to share, as Mr. Srinath was pointing out, that we recently signed an MOU with a Kerala-based company called Kitex. In Kerala, they employ about 11,000 people in over 100-acre space. They are the second largest manufacturer of infant apparel in the world. 100% of their exports go to the US, 90% to the US, 10% to Europe, and one in two or 1 in 3 kids there in the age range of 0 to 24 months wear apparel manufactured by Kitex in Kerala. Very soon we will have that same company setting up their integrated unit in Kakatiya Mega Textile Park. Similarly, another Korean company, a Korean company by the name of Youngwon Corporation, which is very big in sportswear and outdoor wear, they are coming up and they are also setting up an integrated manufacturing unit in this park in Warangal. If you look at that table over there, the key attraction of Telangana compared to other states is, in addition to raw material, to labor, is basically the minimum wages. Telangana's minimum wages are at least 30 to 40% lower than the minimum wages in some of the other competing states, be it Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and so on. So this becomes a very key rallying point for employment-heavy industries such as garment manufacturing to be able to come here, so long as we are able to sort out various other issues that all of you have already pointed out in the morning session, be it logistics, be it in export infrastructure, and so on. So both these companies, be it Kitex, be it Youngwon, are coming up with an export bent. Both of them are entirely export oriented, and while Telangana is a landlocked state, the whole idea is to be able to create that infrastructure and to ease, to the extent possible. Some of you mentioned transport subsidy in the morning. I'll discuss that as well. So that export-oriented units can be set up in Telangana, in Warangal or elsewhere. Our project case is Warangal. This is the concept of KMTP. The whole idea is to have the entire value chain, right from cotton ginning all the way up to garment manufacturing, apparel manufacturing, and a separate sunrise area in textiles called technical textiles. So these are some information on Warangal, where the park is in terms of where the city is. The city of Warangal, the park is hardly about 18 kilometers from the city of Warangal, and the whole idea is that Warangal itself, being a thriving tier 3 city and aspiring tier 2 city, in the days to come, provides a very good environment even for mid to senior level executives of companies which set up their units in the park to be able to live in the city and have a normal social life in the city. This is the layout of the park, just to show that you see boxes of all sizes, which is to say that the park is open for units of all sizes, be it as small as a half an acre requirement to as large as 50 acres or 100 acres. Any such sized unit can be placed, can be accommodated in this park in Warangal. We still have about, I think, 300 to 400 acres of allotable area available after accounting for Kitex, for Young One, and for other companies. Some details on Warangal, how it, where it is located, and what are the timelines and distances from nearest ports, especially important for export units. And some details on the city of Warangal as well. As I mentioned, this is a thriving tier 3 city, and anything that you can expect of such a city in terms of social infrastructure, educational institutions, healthcare institutions, and other such social infrastructure you would find in the city of Warangal. We did, in fact, a population study of an area of 20 kilometers around the park, just to see whether we have manpower available for being employed in the park. Garment itself is extremely employment intensive industry, and employment manpower availability becomes a critical input to a company which is looking to set up their unit in the park. And happy to note that within a 20-kilometer radius itself, we have about 2 lakh people living, and 50% of them easily within the working age range of 16 to 64. Coming to the third leg, the policy support from the government of Telangana. Textile, in fact, is a sector, textile and apparel, where the government of Telangana is at present offering the highest incentives across sectors in the state. And I'll just skip a couple of slides to show you this particular table, where this is the working of what it would amount to, what the incentives would amount to under the textile policy. Over a period of 6 to 7 months, 6 to 7 years from your commencement of production, the Telangana textile policy, by way of incentives, would reimburse anywhere between 70 to 120% of your capital cost in a period of 6 to 7 years. So those are the kind of incentives. The heads vary. We have a capital subsidy, we have an interest subsidy, power tariff subsidy, SGST reimbursement, and so on. But the whole idea is that a very large portion, and in some cases, the entire portion of your capex gets returned to you by way of incentives within a period of 6 to 7 years, and this becomes extremely attractive for industry, for the textile and apparel industry, and it is attractive for us as well, because for the government we can create very rapid industrialization, we can create very rapid employment generation, and we can create an ecosystem the likes of which presently exists, say, in Tirupur or in Coimbatore, in Surat, in Bhiwandi, Solapur, and so on. So the idea is to create that ecosystem, and with that in mind, the textile policy of the state is extremely aggressive. Add on top of this the production linked incentive scheme launched by the government of India, and it is a no-brainer that in terms of policy support, incentive support from the state government and the central government, there is a lot coming in at present for the textile and apparel sector. So even those who are in the textile and apparel sector but not in Telangana, this is a case for them to be here. Those who are not in this sector altogether could also look at this to see whether one can set up something and avail these benefits. Lastly, for mega projects, which the definition of which is minimum 200 crore of investment or 1,000 people employment, customized incentives are available from the state government, which are customized to the specific requirements of the project. Just one point before this, although not mentioned over here, Telangana is a landlocked state, and we understand that we cannot bring the port to the state. So what we offer is a transport subsidy, amongst other subsidies, which basically reimburses a part of your freight cost from your project location to the port of choice, be it on the west coast, JNPT, Mumbai, and so on, be it on the east coast, Chennai, Visakhapatnam, whichever. Over a period of 5 years, the first 5 years where the unit is being set up and is having in any ways a number of viability and teething problems, we reimburse a part of your freight cost to basically nullify the disadvantage of being a landlocked state that we are presently. These are just some of the success stories that we have had over the last 3 years, just the last 3 years since the launch of the policy, the textile policy. This is Welspun Group, one of the country's leading textile groups, had operated out of Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh all this while. In 2017, to invest about 2,000 crore, and of which 1,000 crore has already been invested, and the first plant is already operational in the Rangareddy district, and their second plant, which is Advanced Textiles, is presently under construction. Similarly, I mentioned Young One Corporation, which is a Korean-based company. Again, this company is going to invest about 1,000 crore in Warangal, in the Kakatiya Mega Textile Park, creating about 10 to 11,000 employment, primarily garment apparel manufacturing in the outdoor wear, sportswear kind of category. And the third is, which I have spoken about, is Kitex, that we just last week closed this investment, which is about 2,400 crore across 2 locations in Rangareddy district and in Kakatiya Mega Textile Park in Warangal. And the total employment this company would be creating in Telangana, direct employment, would be to the tune of 22,000 people. So these kind of examples give us a lot of confidence that our efforts are in the right direction, and we have been able to convince very large groups, very reputed companies, to come and invest in the state, which had no roots here, no business being here, but simply on account of the proactive policies of the government, these companies have come and agreed to invest in Telangana and to be a part of its growth journey. And that invitation is open for all of you as well. Come and speak to us, and we would be more than happy to be able to tailor-make our offerings, be it infrastructure, be it incentives, to your requirements, so that Telangana and a thriving textile and apparel ecosystem can be developed in Telangana. Thank you so much.